Our fourth major transformation is the rise of competing points of view, which we can also understand as struggle for identity and truth and the struggle over culture. Right now, we've got generations of people who have more education and more access to information than just about any previous generation we can think of. They are deeply interconnected with others around the world. They are traveling, they're having experiences, and in many ways, people today are asserting themselves and their identity much more strongly and confidently than previously. At the same time, we have globally a shifting center of gravity, moving from sort of the post-Cold War sort of Atlantic, center of gravity east towards China. And as China develops and rises, it's getting more assertive, and increasingly it's seeking to be an alternative pole in the world, a source of alternative worldview and culture. And so when we are sort of looking at the intersection and confluence of these things, we find a number of potential outcomes looking forward. So we have the greater exploration of alternative viewpoints and identities, and greater number of synthesized views as people sort of create their own and they mix and match. Because of course, all of this mixing is going to not just reinforce certain established identities, it's going to create new ones. At the same time, we're looking at the continued expansion of protections for a diversity of viewpoints and identities. And on the flip side, sort of in response to that, of course, we would, in a very natural way, we would expect increasing cultural tensions and fragmentation. Humans often don't like the other, right? It's different. It can be anxiety-inducing, and so it's a very strong historical pattern that when there is a period of great explosion of diversity and great intermixing and lots of new things being introduced or lots of change being introduced, that there is an increase in that resistance to that change, and thus anticipating sort of greater tension and frankly more fragmentation. That's partly in one sense what diversity is. So how will we pull that together, and what will that look like? Really, really important, deeper questions and changes that the country is going to have to address.